One of my clients just came up to me and asked me, should I buy a house to be put on Airbnb? Great question. And who better to ask that question than me? I have been helping people buy their first homes, then buy their investment properties, and grow their wealth through investment properties. And that's where people come and talk to me about it. Hi, I'm Amol Heda with Keller Williams Bay Estates and author of Thriving Through Ownership. So, this client of mine, he comes up to me and says, Amol, should I buy a house for an investment property? He didn't say property, for an Airbnb. And I said, absolutely. But let's understand what your objectives are, what you want to do about it, what you are prepared to be into, and then you should go position yourself. And so I started explaining what an Airbnb means, what an investment property is, a rental investment property, and what multiplexes in residential mean. And then there is a whole segment of commercial properties, investment properties, which I generally don't get started with my starter investors who are just getting their feet wet into their first investment property. And so I explained to him that, look, if you were to go and buy a property in Tahoe, and if you are an avid skier, great, do buy the property, because it might be rented for 15 days of a month or 12 days of a month, and you will get the rest of the 15 days to enjoy the property for yourself by free. And that's great. And guess what? In just those 10 to 12 days, you get much more than what you pay as mortgage, property taxes, insurance, and management of the property. That's the beauty of Airbnbs. Airbnbs are extremely popular. People go give a room in their home for rent. People go buy properties and give the entire property for rent. In places where it is high tourist traffic, people buy Airbnb properties, like in Vegas, in Lake Tahoe, in several other such areas where there are scenic areas. One of my clients has bought an Airbnb property, a very costly one, about $2 million, on the seashore, on the ocean almost. It has great ocean views, huge lot, and it has access to the beach. So remember, we buy real estate to capture the appreciation. You can do that with Airbnb, you can do that with investment properties, and you can do that with multiplexes, any of the residential investment properties. But let me explain the differences between these in this episode. So, Airbnb is an active management property, meaning you're going into the space where the hotel industry is already there. It's great for people that have retired, and instead of downsizing, what they do is they give that one upstairs room that they never go to again for rent. They don't have any other thing to do. So these people, it works out very well. Or it works very well for the young bachelor kind of people that own a 3-bedroom house or rent a 3-bedroom house and don't need it, and they give one on rent as and when they want to. So those are the kinds of things where Airbnb has been very successful. But you have to change the towels, you have to refill the soaps, you have to make sure that everything is functional every time that one tenant rolls out and the other one comes in. So I call that as active management. So that's one part of it. The second part of doing an Airbnb, if you are buying a property for Airbnb particularly, is you have to know what are the permissions that you have to take from the city, the county, the local government as it applies. There could be tourist permits involved in this. The city of Lake Tahoe has completely banned any new Airbnbs as of my last news that I had from last year. I was in Vegas recently, and one of the neighborhoods where it's a single family homes and it says no renting allowed sign on the street as you entered that community. If that is the sign, great. When you're going to buy that property, you'll probably not be fazed by it. But just think that you went in to a transaction, bought the Airbnb, and realized that the city or even the community, the HOA has rules and rental restrictions on not allowing you to do an Airbnb. So it's very important to understand the rules in the area so that you don't get dinged by Airbnb, by the rules of the cities and the government to be able to do Airbnb. So it's very important for you to figure out what that will be. And then when you're actually buying an Airbnb, you should understand the costs of the Airbnb. Like the mortgage, the property taxes, insurance, all are very fixed. But these days, this insurance factor has gone very, very out of control. The prices of insurance, and if you are going to go and tell the insurance agent, and of course, and you have to disclose that you're going to do an Airbnb, your prices will be astronomical. So you need to be able to factor that in. Additionally, you need to know what are the permit expenses, the fees that come with getting an Airbnb license. And if you are yourself not going to be that hotel manager to check people in, check them out, do all the toiletries, change the bed sheets, provide the towels, make sure that the unit is clean, you are going to be in for another sum of management fees. If all this works out for you, great. And if you are an avid skier and you go to Tahoe all the time, you get 10 or 15 days of vacancy time that you can use even after making money from the Airbnb. If that's your profile, absolutely pursue an Airbnb. This could be here in the Bay Area. This place is so much in demand that we keep getting out of country international travelers all the time. Does this make it somewhat easier to think? If yes, please click on the bell button, subscribe, like, and share with those people who might be thinking about an Airbnb. Thanks for watching. Talk to you on my next one. Bye.